There are already almost 19 million bitcoins that are in circulation, and minting of new ones will stop at 21 million. One of the most important characteristics of Bitcoin is that its maximum supply is limited, and with the popularity of it only rising, the demand is increasing too. New bitcoins are added to the total supply every 10 minutes, which is exactly the amount of time needed to create a new block of Bitcoin. Because of the code design Bitcoin is written in, the number of coins minted per each block is reduced by 50% each time after 210,000 blocks. However, the main question remains: what will happen to Bitcoin and its price when all 21 million coins are minted? Will it continue to exist, and if yes, at what price? In this episode, we are going to try to answer these questions. I am Vlad, and this is your Bunny Money channel, a place where you can find your weekly dose of blockchain, crypto, and trading related info. Keep in mind that I'm not a financial advisor, but someone with many years of experience in the crypto industry. All content on this channel is provided for educational purposes only. So the total number of Bitcoin to be issued isn't expected to be more than 21 million. Who said that? Satoshi Nakamoto, a mysterious creator of Bitcoin. As you know, among Bitcoin users, there are those who use it to transfer the value and those who mine it, the validators of the network. These miners receive a fixed number of Bitcoins for their work, which is what's called the block reward, plus a transaction fee. In 2009, the reward for each block on the chain was 50 Bitcoin. Since then, it was halved. Current block reward is 6.25 Bitcoin. As soon as all 21 million coins are mined, no new Bitcoin would be created on the network. New transactions would still be processed and Bitcoin miners would still be rewarded, though it would only include transaction fees that people pay when using the network, as opposed to current rewards that consist of Bitcoin block rewards and fees. Currently, these fees make up a very small portion of this miner's revenue. For each $10 million value mined per block, there is only around $1 million earned by miners in transaction fees. Let's also not forget that if Bitcoin becomes even more popular and transaction fees increase, the competition for miners would also increase, even if the profitability of a block reward will be lower. Also, let's not forget that the actual amount of Bitcoin circulating will never reach 21 million. Why? Well, there are those poor people who unfortunately lost their private keys and will never gain access to their lost wallets. An analysis shows that around 10 to 20% of already existing Bitcoin is permanently lost. It's important to know and keep these aspects in mind because they can influence the future price of Bitcoin. Depending on Bitcoin price and transaction fees, the number of miners who validate the network will vary. If mining Bitcoin becomes not profitable due to the absence of block rewards, there might be some problems. Almost 19 million Bitcoin has been mined, more than 88% of its maximum supply. And it only took a decade. How long will it take for the rest of Bitcoin to be mined? Some say it would take 120 years, while others say that it will happen in 2078. It all depends on many factors. The biggest question is how much will Bitcoin cost after all 21 million is mined. In the end, Bitcoin won't be used as a currency network, but rather an asset which stores value, like a collectible. Let's assume that miners stop mining Bitcoin. In that case, if anyone wants to actually spend their Bitcoin, a transaction would be impossible since it requires mining. So then the only incentive would only be transaction fees. But will they be high enough to motivate miners to continue working with the network? Currently, Bitcoin might be the main cryptocurrency, the price fluctuations of which often drive the prices for other cryptocurrencies. However, we might actually say that in the future it most likely won't be the dominant crypto asset. There might be another more popular currency based on its usage and market capitalization. There is also another factor that influences Bitcoin price called mining cycles. Halving a block reward influences the quantity of new coins that enter the circulation, which in turn impacts the value of existing coins. at least those ones held by people. Whether you hold Bitcoins in your wallet or not and prefer not to, it's important to know how the price of this asset will fluctuate with time, because right now it does influence other crypto assets. And as a general rule, before investing in any financial asset, you must always understand what it is, which is why on this channel we give you full knowledge of blockchain finance and trading. This was our episode for today. Here's your Bunny Money channel. I'm Vlad. See you in the next episode.